Will former UFC champion Henry Cejudo bounce back against Merab Dvalishvili? See who fighters are picking in the latest edition of MMA Pros Pick.
I mean, I like both those guys, and it's hard to choose a side when, you have a relationship with both guys. But I'd say Cejudo. I think he's just a bit more technical, and I don't think he'll be that easy to take down, given his accolades. But yeah, Cejudo.
Oh, good question, man. I think I would have to lean towards Merab in that fight. I think stylistically he causes a lot of chaos and a lot of problems. It would be interesting to see what Henry's game plan is going to be against him. If Henry's going to try to offensive wrestle, maybe put him on his back and try to slow him down. But, Henry's style, I think, is very different when it comes to the stand-up into the blend between his wrestling and his takedowns. Whereas Merab's more of that berserker style where he just gets in your face and has that cardio that goes for 5 rounds. So it's going to be very interesting. I was very impressed with Merab in his last outing against Piotr Jan. So it'll be interesting to see what the game plan these guys come up with.
Merab, for sure.
But I like that one a lot. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of the way Merab's good at not committing to his takedown so hard where he comes up with strikes. He's just very confident of mixing up his wrestling and striking, which I feel like you don't see a lot in MMA. But Cejudo's so hard to count out of any fight, just being obviously who he is, the triple C, So I'm going to give the edge to Cejudo on that one.
I got Merab. I like Cejudo. I think Cejudo's a great fighter. I just think that Merab will be able to put a pace on him, and I think he's just a bit too big. Usually when the guy is bigger, you're faster and have better cardio, and it's just not the case. He's bigger, better cardio, and faster, so I just don't see how Henry Cejudo is going to get it done. Love Henry. Think he's a phenomenal fighter. I got Merab.
That's a tough one. I really like Merab for it, but I mean, Henry Cejudo, he's such a gamer to be able to become the youngest Olympian in arguably the hardest sport in the world. You know what I mean? He knows how to compete. He knows how to show up. He can develop a game plan and stick to it. He's a tough match for anyone. But I gotta go with my boy Merab on this one, just cause I like the guy.
Man, that's so good. And I want to say Henry, but the only thing is, Aljo was able to take Henry down, and Aljo was able to, do what he needed. And I feel like Merab on the wrestling and the mix-up, like he did against Piotr Jan, he mixes it up so well with the level changes, the punches. Yeah, maybe he's not hurting you, maybe he's not knocking you out, maybe he's not submitting you, but he dominates in every aspect of the fight, and he always has. And so I think it's going to be a decision, and I think Merab's going to get it.
It is going to happen, really. Damn.
Yeah.
Weight class too. I've always talked about, I don't know. I think Merab has got an incredible gas tank, and they're both obviously very, very skilled in the wrestling department. I think Cejudo is obviously the more technical wrestler, and you got Merab, who is just relentless and just in your face. So I think he can actually keep that, especially with Henry Cejudo being a little bit older now. I think he can kind of keep that pace and kind of wear Cejudo down and get the decision.
I got to give it to Henry. I think Henry would be able to slow down that wrestling pace that Merab has. I think a lot of respect for Merab as well. He's awesome, but I think that Henry does have the credentials to be able to do that in the wrestling department. And I do think he's a little bit more slick on the feet. I think Merab likes to be more sporadic and rush in and throw a lot of shots and then just take down and throw a lot of shots. And I think that the composure that Henry, especially if Henry does keep that composure, like when he fought Dillashaw, when he fought a couple of these guys, keep that composure, keep the range. He presses where the fight goes. I see Henry getting that win.
Looks like it's going to happen. Man, that's going to be a good fight because Merab just wrestles so much, and how is he going to take down Henry? Henry's going to be hard to deal with if he's going to try to wrestle him the whole time. But I think his pace is so hard for anybody to deal with. So, with that being said, I'll probably go with Merab, but that's good, man. I could see that going a lot of different ways. I could see him not being able to take down Henry at all and kind of panicking, but I'm almost talking myself out of that, but I'm going to stick with Merab.
I like that fight a lot, man. That's a sick matchup. I got to go with my boy Henry Cejudo. You know, you got Merab with great wrestling, unbelievable shots. He does a great job with the wrestling in fights. We got the Olympic champ for wrestling on the other side. And I just like the way Cejudo breaks fighting down, man. I got to meet him this summer this fall, about a month ago, 2 months ago, and train with him and learn from him. And he broke some things down for me and gave me some good, solid advice. So, yeah, super good guy. So, yeah, going with Cejudo, I think, in this one.